Christmas dinner had the usual sounds: plates touching, forks scraping porcelain, the low hum of holiday music coming from the living room. My mother had spent most of the day cooking, and the house smelled like cinnamon and roasted turkey. On the surface, it looked like any other Christmas, but tension has a way of sitting at the table even when no one names it. My father had been restless all evening. Not angry at first, just impatient in the way people get when they've already decided something, but haven't said it yet. He kept making small comments, nothing loud enough to stop the dinner, but sharp enough that people noticed. "Some people here have it pretty easy," he said once, cutting into the turkey. No one asked what he meant. My aunt laughed nervously and passed the mashed potatoes. I kept eating. This wasn't new. Over the past few years, the comments had become more frequent. I was still living at home, which in his mind meant I hadn't really moved forward yet. What he never asked about were the quiet parts of my life, the things that happened outside the house. My job. My savings. The monthly transfers I made to cover things that never seemed to get mentioned. Dinner moved along awkwardly until dessert. My cousin was talking about her new apartment downtown. Everyone congratulated her. My father listened for a while before suddenly leaning back in his chair. Then he looked directly at me. "You know," he said, loud enough that the whole table went still, "some people just stay comfortable being a burden." The word hung in the room. A burden. My mother froze beside him. Someone shifted in their chair. I felt several people glance at me and then quickly look away. "You're an adult," he continued. "And you're still here. Eating our food, living under our roof. At some point, that stops being temporary." No one interrupted him. Not even my mother. He shook his head slightly and added the part that made the silence heavier. "If you can't stand on your own, maybe you shouldn't be here anymore." The room stayed quiet. I didn't argue. Not because I agreed. Because I suddenly realized something strange. He actually believed what he was saying. In his mind, I had just been drifting. The rest of dinner ended quickly after that. People made excuses about early mornings or long drives. By 10 o'clock, the house was empty again. My parents went to bed without another conversation. I stayed up for a while in the living room. The Christmas lights on the tree blinked slowly, reflecting off the dark window. I thought about the past 3 years. The electricity bill that had almost been shut off until I set up automatic payments. The mortgage installment I'd quietly covered when my dad's hours got cut. The insurance payments that came out of my account every month so his car could stay on the road. None of it had been discussed much. When money got tight, someone would mention a problem in passing. I'd fix it online. And life moved on. Maybe that was the problem. Invisible help stays invisible. Around midnight I went to my room and opened my laptop. First, I canceled the automatic electricity payment scheduled for next month. Then the internet bill. Then the insurance. It took less than 10 minutes. After that, I started packing, not dramatically, just carefully. Clothes folded into 2 suitcases. My laptop bag, a small box of documents. By morning, everything important was by the door. My father noticed first. He came into the hallway while I was zipping the second suitcase. "What's this?" he asked. "I'm leaving." He frowned. "You're overreacting." I'm responding. He leaned against the wall, clearly expecting this to blow over. "You'll cool down in a day or 2, he said. "No reason to make a scene." "I already found a place," I replied. That got his attention. My mother appeared in the kitchen doorway, confused. "Why are you packing?" I lifted one of the suitcases. "You said I shouldn't be here." "That was frustration," my father said quickly. "Don't twist it." I paused for a moment, then pulled out my phone. "I'm not twisting anything," I said. "But before I go, there's something you should know." He crossed his arms. "What?" "The electricity bill you've been paying the last 2 years." He shrugged. "Yeah, that's been coming from my account." His expression shifted slightly. "And the internet bill." Silence. "And the car insurance." My mother looked at him. Then back at me. I continued calmly. And the mortgage payment last February when you were short. The hallway grew very quiet. For the first time since Christmas dinner, my father looked uncertain. You're saying, he began slowly. I've been covering most of the gaps, I said, quietly. He stared at me like he was recalculating the past few years in real time. You never said anything. You never asked. The words weren't angry, just factual. He rubbed the back of his neck, suddenly uneasy. So what happens now? I lifted my suitcase. Now you don't have a burden anymore. For a moment he looked like he wanted to take back what he'd said the night before. But words, once spoken, don't really return to where they came from. He stepped aside as I walked toward the door. Behind me the house felt strangely still. Not dramatic. Just different. As I stepped outside, I realized something quiet but important. For the first time in years, the weight of that house wasn't mine to carry anymore.